calling it that.
No. Now, if you'd like us to read your request out to our listeners...
Literally billions of listeners.
Yeah, then all you've got to do is come over here to Abel and speak to us.
He's kidding. We've got a couple of methods set up just now. Firstly, if you know anyone fast enough or crazy enough, you can send a good old-fashioned letter through the Runner Network. Just address it to Eugene and Jack, Abel Township.
Although we can't guarantee we'll still be alive by the time it gets here.
Yeah. For runners, it does take them an awfully long time to make it here, doesn't it?
Another way you can get in touch with us is with your good old ham radio. Now, we'll be tuned in on 5,250 kilohertz every day from noon for 2 hours. So just jump into the channel and let us know what you need.
And finally, if you're one of the tech elite currently ensuring that even the apocalypse can't stop the signal, you can email us. You'll find our address on Narwhal Station's bulletin board.
Yeah, and we are connected to Narwhal.
And if you're out there right now wondering what the hell we're on about, we'll be filling you in on the network resurrection sometime soon, so don't worry.
But for now, we're going to sign off and go hunting for Harry Potter books.
Can't leave those kids hanging.
Stay safe out there, and we'll be back at you soon. Janine, one of the best electricians I've ever had the good fortune of being electrocuted by.
Oh yeah, that looked super painful.
It was. As she pointed out, mostly my own fault. Apparently, touch it and see it is not an approved method for checking if something is alive.
Sometimes I'm amazed you're still walking around.
What can I say? I'm a lucky man.
If by lucky you mean utterly stupid, then I agree.
You're a real charmer.
Indeed I am. Anyway, Janine, thanks for saving him from his own stupidity. Here's another one we know you'll like. Hope you're lit up, is we want to talk to you about food safety.
Yeah. Now, it's hard, we know, when you're on the road and you've not eaten properly in days, not to just wolf down anything half decent that comes your way.
But you really have to be careful. Survival?
Survival.
Survival's not just about staying alive, it's about staying healthy, staying well.
Well, because let's face it, all other things aside, it's really hard to run away from zombies when you're gushing out of both ends.
Oh, yuck, that is disgusting.
It's true.
Yeah, but a bit more decorum next time, perhaps?
Oh, decorum, all right.
Anyway, what we're trying to say is think about what you're putting in your body. Check expiry dates. Mm-hmm. We know there's not much out there that's still fresh, but you really don't want to be eating tinned meat that's 6 months old.
Well, I don't know. Does that stuff ever go off? Was it even ever fresh to begin with?
There's plenty of stuff you can forage or catch if you're in a rural area.
Oh, in fact, we're planning on putting together a forager's cookbook broadcast soon.
But if you're stuck for options, at least try to use your common sense. Fresh-caught pigeon might get pretty dull after a while, but it's better than being laid up with food poisoning when your camp's being overrun.
The same goes for water. Be sensible, make sure to sanitize it as best you can. Waterborne illnesses could be crippling back when we had proper medical provision, but nowadays...
Well, let's just say being caught off guard by a pack of zombs isn't the only way to go.
Exactly. Now, finally, beyond being safe, where at all possible, you really need to be balancing your diet. Now, get as much green in you as you can, safely.
Yeah, try to remember you need to take in carbs, proteins, vitamins, minerals, water, and fats.
We're not asking you to count up your RDA or anything, just keep it in mind.
A healthy body is your best asset, remember that.
All right. Enough of us blathering on, have a listen to this instead. Stay.
Yeah, it hasn't aged well, has it?
No, can't all be mates. A bit of Spanish key next time, then.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
All right, well, we'll see. Anyway, we've got some more stuff to talk about now, which we'll introduce with a bit of a story from the road.
Right, so back in the early days when we were moving around...
On our way north.
Right, trying to get away from the big smoke. We've been traveling for a bit with these three guys from the city.
Hedgies, right?
Yeah, impressively prepared, though.
You'd have expected them to be real prima donnas, but they weren't.
One guy...
Sean,
had this incredible bug-out bag full of supplies, useful gear, said he'd had it packed for months.
Right, and these guys were total machines. Just steal.
So we're traveling with these guys, trekking up through the country, and they're just unflinching. Like, really solid, tough guys. No sob stories about kids or family left behind. No complaining about sleeping on the ground. They just got on with it.
Better than us, mostly, until this one night.
Right. One night, we're holed up in this abandoned motorway service.
It was raining.
Yeah, so it's raining outside, really pissing it down, and we're all camping out in this bookstore with the shutters down.
Well, it was pretty nice.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. We got a fire going.
Old copies of Heat magazine.
Boom.
Thanks.
We had a pretty nice setup.
Until
we hear this sort of groaning, choking noise behind us.
And I immediately grabbed my bat.
He's been carrying the same cricket bat since day one.
Good old WG. Anyway, I think there must be some back room or something we haven't checked.
Right, so he whips round with his bat raised, ready to just, like, go to town on whatever comes out of the back room.
I'm such a boss.
You're my hero.
I try.
So there he is, in full action mode, when Sean comes stumbling out of the back room, throwing his guts up, his eyes streaming with tears.
Just puking like you have never seen.
And none of us know what to do. Like this rock-hard guy, down on his knees like a little kid, throwing up and crying all down the front of his shirt.
Really gross.
And I stick my head round the corner to the back room. I look round the door, and there's just this huge scattered pile of marshmallow packets.
Dozens of the things.
And sure enough, when we go to help him, he's just bombing up all these little chunks of bright pink and white.
And he looks up at us and he says, I used to love this.
And Jack, he just rests on his bat, cool as a cucumber, and says,
Not anymore.
Amazing.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Dr. Myers here. Well, Sam's letting me use the booth for a while. No one else knows I'm here, and if anyone asks, this was just a regular meds run, okay? They'd probably all call me crazy anyway. Okay, how does this go again? Raise the gates. Run of 5, ready? Covering fire and go. I haven't even told any of the other people at the med center what we're doing, because I know I'm probably crazy too, but it's just possible. We could be about to save the world, Run of 5.
I thought we were going to be WNYZ.
I wonder why I keep you around sometimes.
Isn't it obvious?
Anyway, last night after we got off air, we spent a little while chatting with our friends over at Narwhal Station.
Which we'll be explaining in just a second.
Yeah, we've been coordinating with those guys for a couple of days, working on a big new service we'll be rolling out later in the show.
And hello to Alex, Liv, and Richard.
Yeah, hello guys. Thanks for listening and for all your hard work over there. As I was saying, we were all chatting last night, and Alex wanted me to clarify something.
You got us in trouble, didn't you?
No, not at all. It's just that Alex took a little exception to my use of the term network resurrection last night.
Yeah, I did wonder at the use of the R word.
Anyway, he corrected me, and apparently the preferred nomenclature is network recovery effort, so now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Right. Jack's gonna serenade you for a second, and then we'll be back to explain how we're helping out with said network recovery effort. Of our notices for you, Jack?
This one comes courtesy of Dr. Maxine Myers here at Abel. The good doctor would like it to be known that she's been sitting on a year's supply of clean socks she acquired during the crisis. She'd like it to be known that she'll be offering these rare and wonderful things as a reward for anyone who's willing to help out down at the hospital tent.
She's given us a little price list here, and we'll just run through that quickly, so listen up.
Okay, so, basic grunt work, that's lifting, carrying and cleaning. 1 pair for every 4 hours worked. Maintaining the hospital, 1 pair every 3 hours, and if you have any kind of first aid training at all, Dr. Myers is offering 1 pair for every hour of help you give her. She's especially keen for any volunteers who can clean and suture wounds and these are her own words, not mine, more competently than a 3-year-old.
Wow, you just can't get the staff these days, huh?
Guess not.
Anyway, those are all pretty good deals, I think. So, if you can help Doc Myers out, get yourself down to the hospital tent and rediscover the joy of clean, dry feet.
Who knows, you might even save someone's life.
That, too. Here's some music.
I have to check the screen.
Never mind. We've got another notice to read out.
Oh, yeah, why, yes, we do. This one... Who's this one from?
Alice and Amber.
Oh, they're helping look after the kids here at Abel.
Yeah, they're like me to forward this urgent plea. If anyone out there has a copy of Harry Potter books 3 to 7, we will pay any price for them. We started reading the series to the kids and have now finished book 2. They will not let us hear the end of it. Please help us.
Wow, I've heard actual distress calls that were less emotive.
But those books are pretty addictive, and we certainly could do with a little help from Dumbledore right now.
That, yeah. We'll be back in a mo with details on how to contact her.
Welcome back, listeners. I think we're up to about half a dozen of you now.
Which is exciting.
Very exciting. Anyway, as you might not know, we started broadcasting here because we wanted to find a way for us to help everyone out.
To provide a service.
Exactly. To provide a service without having to, well, leave this chair.
Which is difficult.
Exactly. So we wanted to help everyone out, which is why we're always trying to give you up-to-the-date information about what's going on out there and so on.
As well as spinging some banging tunes.
Oh, car crash. Just don't. So, anyway, in that spirit, we're starting a little community notice board section. About once a week, we'll be reading out various ads that people from Abel have sent us.
All from elsewhere.
Yeah, we'll be reading out your ads and notices, trying to help you all find what you need, set up a little ad hoc trading system where we can.
I like to think of it as Z-Bay.
Oh, that is terrible.
You see what I did there? It's because it's zombies. Z-Bay?
Oh, just play some music.
Humbug.
Any thoughts in the break, Jack?
You know what? Yes, I did have some thoughts in the break, Eugene.
Any useful thoughts in the break, Jack?
No.
You're lucky I'm here then.
Oh, you've got something?
I do. Listeners, you won't know this, but we've been... How would you describe this stuff, Jack?
Hoarding?
Collecting, right. We've been collecting various bits of equipment since we arrived here at Abel.
Most of it junk that I keep telling you to throw out.
Oh, hush. It could be useful. Most of what we collect gets used to keep Abel's electrics and other systems up and running. But we do get to keep some of it for ourselves.
Joy.
Now, in amongst all this stuff, we've got almost everything we need to really up our game here. We've got a mini disc deck, a sound desk, a fairly decent compressor.
Not bad.
Not bad, right? But also not functional. Unfortunately, while we've got all the big flashy bits... Oh, grow up. While we've got all the big flashy bits, we're missing all the small essential things like cable, connectors, discs, and tapes and so on.
Which makes all this stuff, as I often point out, about as useful as a chocolate chainsaw.
Well, it does for now. But maybe we can get some help from our listeners on that front.
Z-Bay?
If you must. Yes, listeners, we'd like to put out an advert of our own. If any of you out there have any spare cables, jacks, or any of the other stuff I mentioned just now, we'd be extremely grateful if it could find its way to us.
That way we can pimp out our systems and bring you all more innovative, entertaining, and informative programming.
What he said. We've got a few ideas up our sleeves, and there are some folk here at Abel who are keen to help us with them. But we can't get any of it done without those parts.
So listeners, if you will, spare a thought for us when you're next scavenging in the ruins of an electrical store. In return, we'll keep you informed and keep you entertained.
Amen.
Starting with this song. Stay safe out there, guys.
Stay safe.